Hello, my name is Olivia Weisman. I am a literacy specialist and supervisor here at the ESC of Lorain County. And myself and Kate Hamilton from State Support Region 2, State Support Team Region 2, have been working with a group of literacy leaders within our region that have been working on many tools to help support the communication tools and such that support House Bill 436 and Ohio Dyslexia Guidebook. We have launched this web page to share the resources that the team has created. And I'm just going to walk us as quickly as possible through these editable literacy assessment flowcharts that show up in this section. There are two examples as they show up here on the web page. The first one is the best practices flowchart, and the second is compliance flowchart. We're going to quickly walk you through each of these so that you know which one is the one that you would choose. The beauty of this is that they have created a template on Canva. So you are able to download it on Canva and edit it to have your school district listed, any logo you want on it, your specific assessment tools and timeframes, all of that can be listed. So without further ado, I'm going to quickly carry you through each one. The first one right here, best practices flowchart, is what I'm going to show you first. This is a draft of what it looks like for best practices. We administer our district screener. As we administer that, and by right here, you can edit this to show your guidelines and timeline within your school district of when you give it and when communication is due by. And if the student is not at risk, we note that you report this to EMIS and then you notify the family as best practice. You continue your tier 1 instruction and benchmarking, but when you notify the family, right here, they have created as a team these live links that you are able to take, download, and edit to what you want, and then you can update these links when you create your own flowchart. There is a parent letter for students not at risk. I'm opening that up quickly. Here is what that parent letter looks like. You can take this, make a copy, and edit to what you see fit for your district. There's also a screener parent report. What this is meaning that whatever screener you give, whether that be something like Acadience, Ames Web, the different ones that are on there, iStation, Star, all those different ones, whatever that is, you want to send a report home to the family. This would be where you'd link to what that screener parent report is, or possibly a description of, as what it has here, also your description of your district screener. What is in place there right now is just a sample. This is a sample screening report. The district put in a sample of Acadience. That is not what you will be using. It depends on whatever you're using the report for that specific student, as well as a description of your district screener. And here's a sample of that. They had an example of Acadience because that was the screener that they gave an example there. So you would put in whatever belongs there for you. Now, if a student shows up at risk, remember the current flowchart we're looking at is best practice. Oh, no, I clicked on the wrong one. Excuse me. Now we're looking at the one that's best practice. The student is identified at risk, shows up here in red. We report that to EMIS and we notify the families. The reason this is best practice is right after we say we notify the family, we administer the diagnostic. So we administer that diagnostic to dig deeper to plan our intervention, which is a little bit different than the way the law is originally written. So we'll show those two things. Here, again, you have that screener parent report, description of district screener. So that you've already seen. You have a parent letter for students at risk, which looks like this. You will be able to take this, edit, and use as you see fit for your district if you would like, or if you have your own letter, you could put that in here. We also have here a reading pamphlet, and I will tell you that in another section on the web page, we also have access to this reading pamphlet, but you can also get it here. What it's going to go to is you have to use that template and download, because you can also edit this template to reflect your school colors, logos, or anything that you would like to shift on that document. So you can send that information home. Now, is that reading pamphlet required at the first step according to the way the law is written? No. As a house group as a work group, the team decided that it would be great to give that communication up front at the beginning to help explain to parents the stages of reading development, what are some risk factors, and what are evidence-based strategies. Because in our RIMP, when we send that home, we are going ahead and telling them what evidence-based strategy we are doing for their students. So we want to go ahead and explain that process. So you administer diagnostic, intervene, and then progress monitor bi-weekly. If the student demonstrates adequate progress, we report that to EMIS, and then we notify the family. There's another letter here for you to use or not use as you see fit within your district. If there is limited progress, we must report that to EMIS and notify the families. So we continue to progress monitor and communicate regularly with families, but here are the other letters. Again, we have that reading pamphlet in here again that you could send home again, as well as a progress monitoring report. And there is a parent letter for making limited progress. The additional item here is the district structured literacy information. This is required if after that diagnostic intervention, we still think this child may be at risk and may be showing tendencies or markers, depending on how you read that in the law. We need to inform the family of what our district structured literacy plan is. So here, this is again a live link to a template that has been started for you, and you can edit, and you will have to edit because each district has a different plan of instruction. So you can address that here, and some tools have already been given to you. So that was the best practices flowchart. On the right-hand side is the compliance flowchart. The difference is, if you decide to wait to give the diagnostic until after you have done at least 6 weeks of intervention, that means you're following the compliance flowchart. If, as a district, you provide diagnostics immediately after the screener to inform your intervention instruction, then you are using the best practices flowchart on the left. So just to show you the difference, here is the compliance flowchart. You will notice right here is where the difference is. When the student from the screener is identified at risk, we notify families and we intervene. We don't give that diagnostic right away. So that is a slight shift. All the other documents that are linked are the same and within that flowchart, and you are able to edit at your discretion and make your own new format of these items. That is the quick, brief overview of those two flowcharts. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Kate Hamilton at State Support Team Region 2, or myself, Olivia Weisman, at the Educational Service Center of Lorain County. Thank you. Take care.